What up, everybody? Welcome back into hockey's favorite podcast. You've heard it here. That's correct. This is the Pacific Revision with your host, Miguel. Hi. Hello. How are you? Alongside me, my co-host is Eric. Say hello, Eric.
So it's been a while.
It's been a while since
Miguel,
I could
let me tell you,
talk
Miguel,
about hockey again.
no one told me how hard it'd be to plan a wedding.
I heard it's difficult.
No one told me this before.
So,
I agreed.
listeners, this is the week of Eric's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
He gets married in 5 days from recording.
Yeah, this Saturday. Be there if you got an invite. Don't show up if you did. It's already expensive enough as it is. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. I'll be there.
yeah, surprisingly, Miguel leaving the state, which is look at you. The year of 2023 has actually become the year Miguel leaves the state of Nevada.
You know what I mean? I go from never flying to now after this week, I would have been on a plane 4 times in 3 weeks.
Yeah, wow.
Ain't that crazy?
So let's jump into that, Miguel, because you actually went somewhere that's sort of related to this podcast. Not only did you make your first flight out of the state of Nevada, you left the country.
I did leave the country. I went to
The Great White North.
Oh, Canada.
Our home and native land. We can... Look, we like bashing on Canada as much as the next set of Americans, right? But we got to admit, their national anthem, way better than the U.S. Yeah.
It's a banger. I love it.
Good.
And then everyone yells, True North.
I think the Jets do that.
I feel like all Canadians do it.
Yeah.
I feel some people yelled True North at me when I was in Niagara.
Is it because they just knew you weren't from there?
So I went to Niagara Falls. It was great. So yeah, it was my first time flying. I flew to Chicago, then I had to fly over to Buffalo, New York. Terrible place. Hated every second I was there.
Wow.
Then I could feel the hatred for Jack Eichel while I was there.
It was weird because you're wearing a Jack Eichel like face 1C and whatever.
And I did not wear any Golden Knights gear. I mean, I was there for work.
You are a coward.
I should have worn my hat, but
yeah.
I was there. Actually, my suitcase was a Golden Knights suitcase. So
nah, you're still a coward. You should have worn something. Something.
Then from Buffalo, New York, I had to drive into Niagara, Canada. Get there, the border person, super nice guy. When I was leaving, I got to talk to the American guy, complete asshole. Dude's trying to protect America, I guess. But God, it is night and day, man. Just there, just at the border.
I'll tell you, like I've told the story many times, but I'll tell it here. When I've gone to like, either entering the country or even going to, because I'm currently on the journey to 32 arenas, and that'll happen just eventually. Halfway there. I also have a slight story about my wedding because there's a lot of hockey themes in this.
I know, that's
joyous
awesome.
Celebration. But every time I've gone to Canada, I guess you have the same experience, it just feels like they're just happy to see you. They're also wondering why you're there. That's great. I feel it's nice to be appreciated.
Yeah, it does. They were very welcoming. Get to Niagara. And it's funny going, and you know this, but a few of our buddies from Canada told me, oh, it's like Las Vegas, Canada version. And it kind of is. Specifically, it's kind of like downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Just not as,
it's like Reno.
Yeah, kind of. It's a bit sad.
Like
but
Reno.
It's nice. So they have a casino. I gambled. I lost. So I felt like I was at home.
Yeah.
Their money feels weird.
It's plastic.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird and it's humongous for no reason.
What did you think of the loonies and the toonies, the $1 and $2 coins?
So I didn't get any. So wow. I was mainly card only, and the only time I took cash was when I went to the casino. And I actually regret not making change and just bringing it back with me just to have it. You know what I mean?
Keep it on a wall.
Next time, you know what I mean? It won't be my last time. I got my passport now. Nothing's stopping me, Eric.
I'm about to say, you got your feet wet. You got the bug now. You know.
Yeah. Only money. Only money stopping me.
Play there eventually. You know.
So,
maybe we go invade Edmonton and we go punch Dan in the face.
A few things. a few things, and I'm curious if you had the same experience as me. When you were in Canada, did you drive?
Yeah. Almost killed myself in Vancouver right away.
So I'm driving and I'm with my boss because this is a business trip. I'm driving. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm going fast.
Yeah.
But it says it's 40. Not knowing
kilometers
versus miles per hour.
Yeah, I did a similar thing where I forgot about the conversion because I needed gas. This is the first time I also drove. I need gas, and I was like, holy shit, it's 80 cents per gallon here, not knowing fucking liters like an idiot.
Yes. And so the worst part is I obviously got a rental car. The rental car was like a futuristic fucking rental car. Like everything on your dashboard is digital. So there is no kilometers meter. It's just miles per hour numbers. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you could switch it to kilometers, but it's not my fucking car. I don't know how to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, my boss had to Google. I'll Google this shit now. What the hell is 40?
You don't want to get pulled over by a Mountie.
You know, I don't want some moose coming up me with a Ranger on top, pull me over. But no, Niagara's nice. It's cool. The one weird thing though, where we stayed at in Niagara, the main streets, super touristy, lights everywhere, Ferris wheels, bunch of food, lots of good food. I ate very well while I was in Canada. The weird thing is, it's called Clifton Hill. And Eric, on Clifton Hill, not only is there a haunted house, a year-round, just business haunted house.
You can just walk into and someone scares you?
Yes, all 365 all year long.
Okay.
Not only is there a haunted house, but there's fucking 6 of them on this street. In 3 blocks, there are 6 haunted houses. Canada, what's going on? Why is there so many haunted houses in Canada?
Look, eventually, the season just comes back around.
There was Dracula's whatever dungeon, Frankenstein's castle, and a bunch of other ones. And I'm like, why is there so many? Did you
go in any of them?
So I thought about it. So on the first day, I'm over there with my corporate office, and I'm having lunch with one of the workers that work in and live over there. And I asked her, like, hey, what's the deal with these haunted houses? Why is there so many? And she's like, they're just for tourists. Like, I guess they make money off of it. And I was like, so are they any good? Should I go to one? She's like, I went to 2. They're not great.
So we don't know.
Scare easy. You just turn the lights off, they get scared. So
it's true. Canadians afraid of the dark. It's weird.
So I don't know how scary it would have been for me. I kind of regret not going to at least one, but I mean, if I go there ever again, if my job sends me out there again, I'll make sure to go to because my original plan was to go to Toronto to go to the Hockey Hall of Fame on the Wednesday, which would have been the last day I was there. Mm-hmm. The problem was, again, our Canadian friends warned me, while it may say it's an hour away, it's like a 2-hour drive, they said.
Traffic.
Yeah, so that morning I wake up on Wednesday. I don't have to work. My flight is until 5 from Buffalo. So I was like, I got all morning. I go Google Maps, and it says 2.5 hours to the Hockey Hall of Fame. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm not doing that because I don't want to risk
not
missing my flight. Yeah.
It's cool.
But it was
Hockey
fun. It was cool.
Hockey Hall of Fame is definitely a destination that everybody should go to. Weird location.
I already told my boss, if they happen to send me again to Canada, I'm staying an extra day just so I can go to Toronto, hopefully see a game.
Do you know exactly where the Hockey Hall of Fame is located in?
In Toronto, yeah. I Google mapped it like when I was over there.
No, but like exactly where the Hockey Hall of Fame is located in? All right, that's a fun. Don't even look that up. One day you'll figure it out. You're like, this is weird. this is where all the important artifacts in hockey history. And I'm not saying that because the Hockey Hall of Fame is not cool. It just has an interesting entrance setup. Is all I'm gonna say.
Okay. I will not look it up ever until I go.
Yeah.
And experience it.
Yeah, and you need to feel the experience of looking like you'll be at the address and be like, where the fuck's his entrance? And it'll be in a spot where you least expect a Hall of Fame to be.
That's exciting. I regret not going, man.
Yeah. No, it's cool. They also give you hockey cards when you with your admission. So
I was tempted to go to a hobby shop out there to get some hockey cards. Just because I know conversion-wise, they're slightly cheaper over there than over here.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit, but I didn't do it just because my money is tight. Says I have to
come to my wedding right after.
Go to your wedding, yeah. So Erick, how's the wedding planning going?
Fucking kill me! It's so much. Like it's good. I'm not gonna pretend like it's not good. Everything's taken care of. All the invites have gone out. I will say my side of the family, I'm kind of annoyed at you. You don't listen to this, but I'm annoyed at you. A lot of, can we bring this other person? I told you the final count was on Wednesday. I told you this was it. I already paid the money. I can't pay more. I don't want to pay more money.
No. On
top of the egregious amount I'm already paying for this wedding. But we gave our numbers. So, no. But that whole thing's been busy. I mean, that's... Season 2 of this show, Miguel, has been mostly us managing our time and not succeeding at it because we're busy. Christmas sucked.
Yeah.
These 2 weeks you went to Canada for a bit, then forgot about the... Well, I'm not going to say you forgot about it, but didn't realize the effects of jet lag. And then
so that's another thing. I didn't know. So when I flew over there, I really wasn't that jet lagged. I couldn't sleep well. But I'm also, I have a hard time sleeping anywhere that isn't my bed.
Yeah.
Unless I'm drunk. But, so I never felt tired over there. And in fact, I went to Tim Hortons and drank coffee for the first time in my life. Good story. It was okay. But the food at Tim Hortons was great.
Wow.
And then, I had a breakfast wrap. I had a lunch wrap, a chicken bacon wrap. It was so fucking delicious. I had to go back and get a second one. It was so good.
Either way, step on that.
But then, yeah, for sure. But when I came back home, holy shit! On my 2 days off, you couldn't drag me anywhere.
Anytime you do those work trips, like it's not really a vacation. You're actually doing stuff. Like
like
when I went to Cleveland, like I was tired the 4 days after I got back, more than I was in Cleveland. And at least in that trip, I didn't really acclimate to the time at all. Like I just think I used to. Like I would just go to sleep at like 3 or 4 a.m. because I normally go to sleep at midnight because I'm a monster.
Yeah.
So yeah, this season 2 has been us trying to manage our times. Also, the wedding's been taking a lot of stuff, but I'm excited to do this. It's been one of those things where I'm glad I have like a sport that I follow right now because you go from work to planning wedding to work to planning wedding to hey, there's a Kings game. Let me stop doing stuff for 3 hours for a change. And even that, I haven't been able to, you know how normally for like something you really like, you dive into all the nitty gritty, the different takes, the reading articles and stuff, have not done that at all.
Articles, YouTube videos, podcasts, anything. They can all be saying the same shit, but you don't care. You just want to hear the different opinions. I agree.
I listen to like maybe like 1 or 2 podcasts that I always do, like All the Kings Men, because I've had a couple of interesting stuff with the state of the franchise for the Kings at least. But other than that, I have not dug into like anything extra other than the games. So I have a decent idea. And then also the conversations we have with our friends and stuff like that. So that's been helping. But it's a lot. And then especially with trade deadline. I know we're going to jump into it once we get there. And it's fast approaching along with my wedding. Ain't that a fun time to have both these things too? It was the most exciting weekends that we have upcoming. But it's been fascinating to try to figure out exactly what my feelings are with the Kings heading into like 20-ish games left in the year, along with everybody else. Because I'm not sure. I'm sure, but I'm also not sure. If that makes sense. But
yeah, I got you.
It's been busy. Wedding's hard. I'm excited for the wedding. It's going to be a good time. Miguel's get to be there. Your first time in the Bay Area. So, I don't know if we're going to record something while you're here, but we'll figure out something.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's all up to you, really, because not like I'm planning a wedding. I'm not busy. It's literally...
yeah, we'll figure that out. But it's been good. It's just been a lot of stuff. So do you want to... How do you want to do trade deadline, Miguel? How do we want to cover this?
So I think real quick, I just want to say a few things. Since we last spoke, the Golden Knights have lost Logan Thompson. I forgot his name for a second. Logan Thompson, Aiden Hill, and then Lecision went down, or not Lecision, Brossoit. They traded Lecision, but they lost Lecision on the waiver. But Brossoit, so yeah, Vegas has lost 4 goalies this year, but somehow they're finding a way to get points. You know, what I mean, they gained some overtime losses, not great. Both games they should have won. They took it. They went to overtime. They gave up a game time goal in the last 30 seconds, 2 games, and then they lost overtime. That breaks your heart, but they still remain at top of the Pacific and top of the West. Somehow, some way, we'll see if they can maintain that after losing another goalie. But yeah.
The more time kind of goes, the more interesting the Pacific is, because it's close, and Vegas is so far the only team in the Pacific to make trades. They're the ones who've gone out and be aggressive. Hey, Miguel, remember that first round draft pick you were excited to have? You lost another one, buddy. Zach Dean goes to the St. Louis Blues in exchange for 1-for-1 forward Ivan Barbashev. How are we feeling about this one? Because even for me, that seems fine. The high price to pay, though.
So Golden Knights, out of their 6 first-round draft picks, they only have 1 remaining. But Zach Dean didn't seem like he wasn't... I mean, obviously, I don't keep up with juniors and CHL and all that bullshit, but I do keep up with prospects for Golden Knights, and he wasn't developing quickly. He wasn't. I mean, he hasn't even shown like he's even possible to go to HL, so it's not a big loss, but it still always sucks to lose the first round because you never know. They can always turn it around. They're young. Like we drafted Zach Dean in 2021, I think, or 2021,
round 1, pick 30.
So I mean, it's so late, almost a second round pick, but yeah, I mean, we're still holding on to
Brendan Brisson.
Yeah. But, and I think we're going to hold on to him. So we'll get into it later, but there was a whole Timo Meier thing going around.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt Brisson. Man, this is from Brisson because there's Brissant.
Yes.
And Brisson.
Brisson.
There we go. That's a better way. Brisson.
Oh, here's what I want you to do then.
No doubt he was a part of the package.
Let's go to that one because that's the big one. That's the grade A. Everyone was waiting for that one to fall. And it's Timo Meier believes I'm happy.
You know what's so funny, real quick?
What?
I feel like this whole leading into the trade deadline, it was always the Patrick Kane watch. But then out of nowhere, it became the Timo Meier watch. Like,
well, I mean, I could. There's a good reason why we stopped caring about Patrick Kane. Do you remember? Let me tell you a story then. Do you remember Taylor Hall when he was in Buffalo?
I do.
And he's like, I signed a 1-year deal. I fumbled the bag. Let me sign a 1-year deal with Buffalo. But also with that 1-year deal in Buffalo, I'm going to sign a full no trade, no move clause.
Yeah.
And he got to pick exactly where he went. And he went to Boston at that trade deadline. And they got a 2nd-round pick in Anders Bjork for him.
Couldn't get out of Buffalo quick enough, they say.
Couldn't. But he wanted to go specifically to Boston. This is what's happening with Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane has a full no move. Patrick Kane has a full no trade. He wants to go to New York. It's just a matter of when and where does he get traded to the Rangers and for what. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a 2nd and a conditional 1st and maybe a prospect for Patrick Kane, which is kind of insane, especially because, and we can jump into it later, they've already traded for what's his face? Vladimir Tarasenko from the Blues. So that forward depth that they have right now is good. It's just a matter how deep does this team have? Because they get their third line it's been pretty good with like Heedle, Kako, and Lafreniere.
The last 2 years, we've like New York's going to make a deep run, and they don't. Not to say that they won't this year, but I feel like we've been saying this the last 2 years. We're like,
I mean, last year they made the Eastern Conference Finals, so they've taken a step forward. Their rebuild that they went on is over. They started acquiring pieces. Like, this is kind of it, and they're going to be scary. But I think what their neighbors down the road in New Jersey are doing are pretty good, because the New Jersey Devils are, I think, again, like Seattle, like a couple of these teams that weren't in the picture last year, like you can say these teams are legitimately in. And it's just a matter of what position they're going to be in and what key additions can they add. And New Jersey got better.
You know what's crazy about this year is that I don't think there's a clear-cut cup winner, which is crazy to say considering the season Boston is having. Nobody is like, oh, Boston 100% winning the cup. Last year, we're all like, Colorado, easy. This is Colorado's time. It's finally they put the pieces together. They're finally going to get it. No one's been saying that about Boston, despite them having a historically dominant year. Ain't that kind of crazy?
Do you want to know what happened the last time a team had a dominant single season?
Oh, they were swept in the first round.
They got swept in the first round. I think that's why. I think a lot of us are damaged. And also, I wouldn't say last year we were crowding Colorado, because people were. They still had to, like, let's see how they're gonna fuck up the second round this time, and they didn't. They didn't. They almost did, but they didn't.
You know why? Because Vegas wasn't there to stop them.
Well, how about you stop getting hurt?
I wish we could, Eric. I wish we could.
I feel like both of our teams are like, if we could fix one like flaw, we'd be pretty decent. We're still pretty up there. Like, if Vegas was healthy, it'd be a different story. If the Kings could have a goalie that could stop a puck.
Well, let's remember when Vegas was healthy before they got injured, they were neck and neck with Boston.
Sure, but early in the year, though. Early in the year.
That was 25 games in, and they were in first.
There's no guarantee you don't go on a slump. Every team goes on a slump, apparently.
No, I agree, but I'm saying that's when the injury started. And like a healthy Vegas, I'm not saying they'd be in first place, but they'd be in top 3 easily right now, I think. I know you hate. I know you hate to compliment the Golden Knights. I know you hate it, but
look, you're first in the West. It's fine.
I mean, they're first in the West now.
It's just, I don't know. The top of the East, like, it's pretty good. I don't know. Like, you look, like, there's no way they have 95 points like Boston does.
No, but I think they'd be like 85, 87 in that area.
So you think you're the Hurricanes at 39, 11, and 8?
Yeah, better than Hurricanes.
I don't know. You feel maybe you're at New Jersey's level at 83 points, like where Toronto's at, but like
it's weird. It's weird to me because like Vegas has been struggling, and somehow they're still in first. It boggles my mind. You know what I mean?
Nah, it makes sense. Like, I don't know. No one. The problem with the West right now, at least the Pacific, is that no one is able to make a run, because I feel like when we're on a winning streak, the other team's on a winning streak. When we're losing, the other teams in the West are losing. Like, the Kings have had a brutal road trip this year, and I love how we were supposed to talk about fucking New Jersey and Timo Meier, but the Kings are currently on a road trip. They've lost. They're 1-2-1 in this road trip, right?
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. I'll say what I'm going to say later. Go ahead.
They're 1-2-1 in this road trip, and what does Vegas do? Fucking lose twice in the shootout. So then everything is like the same. Everything's the same in this week. We've gotten 4 points. Vegas has also gotten 4 points. Like, we're just bad. I think everyone in the Pacific is highly flawed. They have their one flaw, and Vegas' flaw is they can't keep anyone on the ice.
You know what's funny? I'm looking at the standings.
Yeah.
And so on the Eastern, on the Atlantic Division, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 1, 2, 4 of the 8 teams on a winning streak. The other 4 on a losing streak. In the Metropolitan, 4 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
In the Central, 5 are on a winning streak, 3 on the losing streak. How many on the Pacific are on a winning streak at the moment? Do you think?
I feel like this is a trick question. It's like the Canucks somehow.
It is one team.
Yeah.
And it's the Anaheim Ducks on a 2K winning streak.
Yeah.
Everyone else lost. 3 losses, 2 losses, lost, 2 losses. That's embarrassing.
It's been a weird 2 weeks where I am expecting to look at the standings, and I've done this before because again I haven't really been paying attention because I can't. I would expect Vegas to be at least 5 or 6 points ahead of us. I get you guys have 2 games in hand, only 2 points.
Yeah, I know.
And if you guys continue your trend, you guys will play the 2 games. You'll lose one, win one in overtime, and we're 4 points back, and that's it. And it's weird to say because I don't know. And Edmonton too is another team that pisses me off because how do you have Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and you do nothing? There's no one else for them to get. All the guys are gone that would have gone to Edmonton to help them. I'm not gonna lie. They're not doing anything with the forward depth. They're just wasting fucking Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid is on pace to lead the league in goals this year. He just decided, hey, I'm gonna score goals this year. And let me tell you, what are you doing? Stop that with your face. Talking to you. Connor McDavid,
I know,
is being wasted again by Ken Holland and the Edmonton Oilers.
You know, it's so funny. But call me crazy. Call me crazy, Eric.
You're crazy.
When I see these Western Conference playoff matchups, I'm like, there's no easy game though. There's just no easy game.
I feel like everyone. Yeah, I mean, they're all solid teams. I think they all have their flaws, but they're all solid teams. Dallas is really good defensively. They have some young guys up front. Minnesota is the only team what are you doing here? Because they've been using their inability to have cap flexibility to sell off some spaces for draft picks, like in the Ryan O'Reilly deal. So that might be the only team. The Abs, you're just waiting for them to get healthy. Winnipeg's been a nice surprise, and Seattle's been a weird, unexpected playoff team with Martin Jones in that, and that's not something you really expect. So there's a lot of solid teams, and I don't know, there isn't going to be.
It's right now, there's a good chance, and we'll see how it shakes out. But there's a good chance if Vegas stays at first in Pacific, there's a good chance they fucking play Colorado, and that's just that's not fair.
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
That's just not fair.
Hey! If you want not fair, talk to Toronto, who might be top 5 league standings, and they got to play Tampa again.
I mean, it don't matter who Toronto plays; they're losing in the first round.
Yeah, come on. Look, all right, can we jump into Timo Meier?
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry to derail this. Let's go.
Timo Meier, gone from the Pacific. Hooray! Boy, he was a guy who tormented the Kings for his entire career as a Shark.
He was a Golden Knights killer, 100%.
So he goes to the Devils along with Scott Harrington, Timur Ibramov, Santeri Hakata, Zachary Edmond, and a 2024 fifth-round pick in exchange for the Sharks receiving. They're also retaining 50% of Timo Meier's contract. Andreas Johnsson, Fabian Zetterlund, Sakir Mahakmadulan, Nikita. Oh, damn it. What's this last name? No, Nikita Hotiok.
Hotiok.
A 23 conditional first, a 2024 conditional second that could become a first, and a 2024 seventh round pick. Miguel, a lot of people on the internet are saying that the Sharks got fleeced. What say you?
I don't think they got fleeced, but they did lose this trade. For Timo Meier, who is entering his prime, who is great, and who is an RFA, not even in a UFA, an RFA. It's man, how did you not get at least 2 firsts or one of Devil's better prospects? The rumor for the longest was Mercer.
Yeah, Mercer was floating around,
which would have been a great return. And they didn't get Mercer. They didn't get Holt either. It's how did you not get, for Timo Meier, how did you not get one of those? Or how did you not at least get 2 firsts? Or at least an unprotected first? How did you not get any of that?
Yeah. Holt is, I think Alexander Holt was probably the name you kept all right, it starts with this guy and then you build your package around him.
The fact that they didn't get one of those two, or like I said, unprotected first, or at least two protected first, it's crazy to me.
I mean, the 2024 first can become a first, so that's good. The 2024 conditional second.
They make the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, so I mean, I want to look at it from that end. Like, they technically have an opportunity of getting 3 firsts in this deal because Shakir Mahakmadulan is a former first-round draft pick.
Yeah,
you get your conditional first, you get the conditional second. Here's your 3 firsts for a young guy. A guy who's 25, 26, who's still an RFA. I think that's the biggest part, where New Jersey, like, he fits the timeline of New Jersey with as young as Nico Hischier, Jack Hughes, Dawson Mercer, who's still there.
Oh,
like,
it's Devils are, oh man, that team's gonna be nasty.
Their defense, like, I'm still not like crazy about, but like,
it's hard to say like, oh, they're gonna make a deep run this year, but next year, this young core, just because I get it, Timo is a great player, but when you introduce him to a new system with new players, the chemistry isn't always there to start. So, and maybe the chemistry clicks in 20 games, maybe it doesn't, but next year that team is going to be disgustingly good.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. There'll be, there's some time to figure out the line combinations with him in, but like
now, if they can only get Quinn Hughes over there,
they'd
be so selfish, Vancouver.
Man, that's someone else they have. Luke Hughes, also a defensive prospect that they have to give up for this deal. So like, it doesn't feel like the Devils are going to miss anything that they gave up, really.
No.
There's nothing in there. You're like, yeah, let's look at this trade. And this is the piece that was like, man, you hate giving it up, but I don't see any of that here. Like, yeah, sure, you hate to give up a former first rounder, but when New Jersey's been in the state of rebuild that they have been for the past 4 or 5 years, their cupboard's pretty full on top end prospects. So to not have one of their top guys go in this trade for a guy like Timo Meier, a guy who can score goals, a guy who can be big and physical, a guy who adds a lot of physicality to this lineup that they need because they don't have a lot of big physical guys up and forward. With the skill that he has, it's a great deal for New Jersey. They did the correct move by, I want to say going all in and getting this guy, but like, I think if you're the Sharks looking at them and, hey, I love this trade for us. I mean, the Sharks I don't want to say the Sharks get worse, but the Sharks don't get exactly what I think we all feared in them getting as division rivals.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not going to go and call it a fleece, but man, how did San Jose not get more?
And more quality, too. But it's a great trade for New Jersey that I hope them and New York meet in the fucking playoffs now.
And then the GM of the Sharks said, when they asked him, he said, and I quote, "I got exactly what I wanted."
And that might be just the potential of 3 firsts. Like, that's the kind of thing you're looking for.
Maybe dream bigger.
Yeah. But it's one of those things, like, you can't, I don't know.
So leading to this trade,
work out.
Leading to this trade, the rumor was Vegas. It was down to Vegas and New Jersey. And in my head, I'm like, God, why is Vegas even in this? Because we have nothing to give. We've given everything away already. Like, unless they want all those future considerations we're stockpiling, like. I don't know what we could give them. But then that morning, I think Elliot Friedman tweeted, I forgot who.
Yeah.
Tweeted saying New Jersey is like, they've surpassed Vegas. They are the clear front runner. It's a matter of when. So I was glad. I was happy. Like, don't get me wrong. I would love to have Timo on my team, but I just don't think Vegas had the money to pay the price. You know what I mean?
No, you also have other issues to deal with right now that I don't know if going all in at a time of uncertainty is the greatest move. Getting Timo Meier would have been the most Vegas-esque thing to do, though, when you're like, why does this keep happening? But
yeah.
I don't know. Vegas has lost its sparkle, Miguel, since last season. there's a little trauma there from last year and having to go all in, get your guy, and then miss the playoffs. Like,
yeah.
the health concerns are a big concern. The fact that you're still in it is great. The fact you're still on top of the Pacific and the Western Conference to be that's great. But also you do have to look at long-term health and health of the franchise in terms of like prospects and picks and stuff like that.
I mean, we might be in first, but it's being held together by gum and scotch tape. Like, it is going to break eventually.
Yeah, and it's a lot like Colorado this year. Like, Colorado's been devastated by injuries, but they just need to get there and get there healthy, and then anything can happen.
Yeah, because it's like, for Vegas, as they get to the playoffs, the rumor was for Mark Stone that he would be able to play the playoffs, probably not the first round. But I'm like, dude's been out with a second back surgery. He would be out for 3 months if he comes back in the playoffs. Do you really want him playing immediately in the second round? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, but look, let's do it this way, and we'll transition to another deal that I want to talk about. Is the path to the trade deadline more so an addition of something you don't have, or a bolstering of depth? So you can maybe lose one or two guys, and it's not the end of the world. Like Toronto. Toronto went out and got Ryan O'Reilly. This was a trade with the St. Louis Blues. Toronto got 25% of Ryan O'Reilly's salary, Nola Chari and Josh Pilar. Blues got a first from 2023, a third from 2023, a second from 2024. Adam Gaudette and Mikhail Abramov, and Minnesota got to be the middle person who also take on some of that Ryan O'Reilly salary for a fourth round pick. Toronto went the path of bolstering their depth and not.
So could you say Ryan O'Reilly was at one point a Minnesota Wild?
Yeah, absolutely. He said it. Ryan O'Reilly stated it himself that for 30 minutes he was a Minnesota Wild.
Woo! Good job, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Bad return though. Only a fourth round. Idiots.
For Ryan O'Reilly? Come on. Let's jump into that whole thing. Like, I know Toronto made a trade today for Jake McCabe to bolster their defense as well, but they didn't need another center. They did need another forward to kind of bolster everything, and he has been playing on a second line since getting acquired with Tavares and Marner. Yeah, but that's a pretty good second line. But at that point, you have to look at the situation. Like, are you bolstering something you don't have, or do you go in and bolster your strengths that you already do? Because if I was Edmonton, that's exactly what I would do. Make a trade, bolster your forwards, because that is where you excel. Help McDavid, help Draisaitl. The defense will be fine. Because you know what happens, Miguel? If you have the puck, the other team can't score on you.
That's true.
So I do like this kind of trade for Toronto, and I feel bad because you can't. Man, because the threat and loom of losing in the first round is always going to be there. So even when you make a trade where you're like, yeah, my GM cares, and yeah, I'm glad he has faith in this team because I do too, and I feel good, and my team is top 3 in the league in standings. It all comes back to this little ghost, Miguel. This ghost called the first round exit.
The problem is there's no way around it. It's Toronto and Tampa in the first round.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. Like, they'd have to drop every game and go into the wild card. You know what I mean? To avoid Tampa.
And at that point, you might as well play Boston or Carolina. That's not any better.
Yeah,
it's tough for them. Miguel, let's go to another rival of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Boston Bruins, the best team in the league. A team that you say aren't no expectations apparently for cup contention wins.
Who?
The Boston Bruins.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's like if they win the cup, no one's surprised. But like I said, I just don't feel like you hear the chatter.
Well, do you hear it now that they traded for Dmitry Orlov and Garnet Hathaway?
Yeah, which is crazy because they just got even better. Like,
that's insane. McAvoy. there. Now is Morlov there. Orlov's a great two-way defender. I don't know if you pair them together or you have them on a separate line, but that whole setup in Boston, like they just heading into this year, I would have definitely said this team's going to decline. But shout out to their leadership. Like, I don't know what is it. Maybe it's Brad Marchand tweeting out and attacking people throughout the year that's keeping them fresh. But Pasternak's having an insane season. He already hit 40 goals. Like, this whole team, like Jake DeBrusk is having a breakout year.
Again, how does Minnesota only get a fifth for Orlov? It's kind of crazy.
Minnesota just giving away these players for nothing.
Didn't we remember when we were discussing Wild's cap problems going into the season?
Yeah.
And they were here retaining everyone's cap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's a good idea.
It's just funny. Like,
hey, when you only have like $2 million to spend or whatever, and you need way more than two players, they realize they're in flexibility. So hey, fucking for the future it is. Like, but look at this Boston defense, Miguel. Charlie McAvoy, Hampus Lindholm, Brandon Carler, Matt Grzelcyk, Dmitry Orlov, and then any of Derek Forbert, Jacob Zobrel, and Connor Clifton. That is a good-ass defense. Alongside Linus Ullmark, who fucking scored a goal this week. Boston has a decent shot, but again, I think it's the fact that it's the Tampa Bay nightmare scenario of doing great and losing in the playoffs.
I think Boston is the clear-cut favorite, and they should win. I'm just saying no one's saying it, though. You know what I mean? Like, the chatter's not there. Maybe it won't be there the closer we get to playoffs. But despite the accolades, despite being the fastest to 30 wins, to 50 points, whatever, all these shits they've been doing this year, it's like, oh, nice, cool. All right. So what's Toronto doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but that could be a lot of the media like stuff. Just like it's boring.
For sure.
Winning is boring. You want is drama. Yeah. You want hot drama and kicking a team when they're down. That's kind of the situation we're in, and I do think Boston's not getting a lot of the respect that it's getting. Mostly because I think a lot of people started off the year by saying they were going to be bad, and you don't want to be that person, Miguel. You don't want to be that person that admit you're wrong. They might be one of the all-time best teams if they're able to continue this pace and win the Stanley Cup.
I mean, if they continue this pace, I mean, they're definitely the all-time best regular season team. It would be factual by stats, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but Tampa's that currently, and no one gives a shit about.
And then they can hang a banner for that. Oh, historically, the best regular season team ever.
That just makes people make fun of you, Miguel. Makes people make fun of you. We don't let Nashville fucking forget their regular season champions banner that they hang up.
Yeah, it's so funny because like Vegas has 3 Pacific titles, but they only made a big deal about the first one. Like after that, they're kind of like, we don't care. We want that silver thing over there. I
always said Kings have 2 Stanley Cups that have in their 50+ year history have only won their division, any division, one time. They've been Stanley Cup champions more than they have division winners.
Yeah, like I said, the first year Vegas won the Pacific, that's awesome. That's amazing.
Get the t-shirts.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit anymore. We can be wild card, we can be second, third, first. I don't care. Yeah, as long as they get in. Yeah, just get in. Just get in.
But let me tell you who doesn't care about a lot of stuff. Tampa Bay does not care about their draft picks, Miguel.
There's a lot of this was probably more talked about. Actually, it was more talked about after than the Timo Meier deal.
Do you have the trade pulled up, Miguel? Tanner Janot? Do. Can you read it to me?
Tampa Bay Lightning acquires Tanner Janot. They send 2 Nashville Predators, Cal Foot.
Okay.
2025 first round pick. It is top 10 protected. 2024 second round pick. 2023 third round pick, 2030 23rd fourth round pick, 2023 fifth round pick.
All for Tanner Janot.
Who?
Tanner Jeannot. He had a good rookie season last year. And I might be. You know what? There is no might. I am in the minority of this could be an all-time bad take by me. I don't think this is a terrible offer. Is it a lot? Absolutely. Cal Foot, Miguel, was drafted number 17th in the first round.
So this is not a bad trade. This is not. It's crazy. I know. I know. Tampa's giving.
Are you on the same camp as me? As I don't think this is that bad.
Who gives a shit about the 5th round pick? Who gives a shit about the 4th round pick? Who gives a shit about the 3rd round pick?
Okay, at 3rd, I start caring. I got to be honest. At 3rd round pick, I start caring.
I don't. But 2nd, okay, cool. And the 1st, it's top 10 protected. So if Tampa remains this fucking good, it's gonna be a 30th, 28th pick. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, yeah, you still get good players at 28, 29, 30. But if this means it's gonna help you get this much closer to the Stanley Cup, even though they've already won so many, it's worth it.
And that's where I'm at. That's exactly where I'm at. These picks do not matter to Tampa Bay, nor they should. They have their core locked up forever. That's literally the thing they did this past offseason. They locked up guys like Miguel Sergachev to long deals, Eric Chernak to long deals. They have Braden Point, they have Nikita Kucherov, they have Andrei Vasilevsky, and they have Steven Stamkos. So as long as you have that core, who cares? Your draft picks don't mean anything to you.
Yeah, Cal Foot is a good player, but guess what? They're like, we don't need another fucking forward. We need another defenseman. So that's what they went out and got.
You know what I mean? Miguel, I got some bad news for you. Cal Foot plays defense.
Oh my! I had a reverse. Sorry.
Yes.
They're good on the blue line.
Yes.
They wanted another forward. Sorry, that's my bad.
And that's kind of what they've done. They've kind of been. They have their top 6. They need a rebuild. I mean, 2 first-round draft picks for Barclay Goodrow. How many of us said that was a terrible thing to do? Fucking
everybody.
Worked out for me. Look, I understand picking Tampa bit me in the ass last year in the final because they lost. But until they actually fuck up, and I understand there are some moves that you can be like, it's not the wisest use of your assets. This team has made the final 3 straight years. The team has won 2 of the last 3 Stanley Cups. If they think Tanner Jeannot's worth that and get it added to their team and be a good contributing factor and hold down a 3rd-line spot, 2nd-line spot for them, who cares about all the assets they've given up? They don't. They clearly don't. They value these assets to one Tanner Jeannot. And if this was any other team without a pedigree like Tampa, fucking awful trade. Awful trade. But it's Tampa. And they're here to curse the rest of the league as long as they have that core intact. And as long as Julian Breezeball, their GM, is crazy enough to make these kind of moves. You can at least say Tampa does make the most ballsy moves out there in terms of their using up their assets. Like getting Brandon Hagel and Nick Paul last year. Great moves.
Guess what? If in 3 years they're dog shit, they got their cups.
Yeah.
They got their cups.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I agree. Then
now, like I said, when you talk about Toronto giving up so much stuff, and then
Toronto, when you look at them, you're like, oh man, I don't know if I'd give up this stuff just to lose in the first round. And that sucks. It does suck, and I feel bad for it, but it's hard not to think that way. That all this effort they're putting in, all they're trying, is for nothing. It's to be forever cursed to lose in the first round because that's they share. Hey, guess what, Miguel? They share a division with Tampa Bay and are forced to play them forever.
I'll say this. The day they get out the first, they're winning the cup. The day they get out of the first round, they're winning the cup.
So it's the Avalanche thing. Like the day they get through the second round.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Washington when they finally got through Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see it.
Also, real quick, side note. Big shout out to me for predicting Florida to miss the playoffs. Remember when you called me crazy for that?
Yeah. They're bad. They're bad, huh?
They're bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel bad.
I told you they didn't feel legit to me last year. They didn't feel legit. And the moves they made were like on the off season were just.
I like their moves. I like Matthew Tkachuk has paid off. Like he's been really good.
But no one else has.
No one else has. Markov can't stay healthy.
I know, it hurts because I have him fantasy, and when he is healthy, he's a point getter.
Yeah, great.
But he's not healthy often.
But yeah, oh man, it's rough. I can't wait for Montreal to end up with Connor Bedard through Florida's pick.
If they get Bedard, it's rigged.
Wow, you heard it here first.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's rigged if they get Bedard.
So, Miguel, those are all the trades that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot of other ones, but they're kind of whatever trades. Between
now and then, do I get to be happy? Do the Kings get Jacob Chicken finally?
So before this is actually a good topic to end on the podcast on. LA has stayed steady through all this time.
Mm-hmm.
It is clear as day they need defense. That team, LA can score. But boy, can they let them in too.
Yeah, imagine if this team had good defense and good goaltending.
I don't watch enough of Kings games. I wouldn't totally put it on the goalies, but because you've had some spectacular performances in the net.
You know what? That's wrong. This season, the goal, that's one of the biggest misconceptions about Phoenix Copley saving our ass, is that all he's giving us is competent goaltending. His save percentage is still sub 9. His goals above expected still isn't good.
This was the Logan Thompson experience, but with good defense.
Yeah.
Where he wasn't outstanding, but he was giving competent goaltending.
He's exactly what you need. He's not breaking our back. And I hate to say that about Quick right now, but Quick's at the stage where you play him and the confidence isn't there. And I feel like you feel that a lot with the fan base. And then sometimes with the players, with the type of goals he's giving up. But this is Mike Smith's problem, Miguel. It's not how you let in goals. It's not how many goals you let in, but it's how and when.
Yeah.
Against the Rangers, most recently, they went down 3-0, and a lot of that, it's the Rangers are really good. And the Kings didn't play well. Turnovers on your own end.
So,
the Kings
correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Jacob Chikrin's been sidelined, right?
Yeah, just held out for trade-related reasons.
Healthy scratch? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
He's healthy.
So it's happening.
Maybe. But to finish on Quick, 3-0 down. That's not on him. That's on the team. They get within 3-2. Start off the third period great. And it's a bad goal. And it just breaks your entire momentum. 5-2. Kings lose that game. And it's that kind of stuff where timing of a lot of things. Could the team in front of him play better? Hell yeah. You know who helps doing that? Having a top left-handed defenseman that we've been needing for a long time now in Jacob Chikrin. Is he going to be the solution to all the problems? God, no. This team is still young. This team is still developing. By the way, the Kings have the second best power play in the league. They mentioned that. And it's outstanding because the team's been so anemic on the power play for the past 4 years. So this team has a lot of potential, and it's really depending on what the price tag is for Chikrin. And I don't know yet if the deals for the other defensemen or the other top line players lowers that price tag a little bit. Because again, the players that Arizona are holding, they do not have to trade them this year. They have term. Jacob Chikrin is still signed for beyond this year. I just don't know how much I gotta wait. I want something to happen. I either want yes or no, baby.
I mean, you got 4 more days. It'll be interesting. So is that the only thing you're expecting from LA is Chikrin?
A lot of rumors have been Vejmelka to join him in that trade to bolster that goaltending, but all eyes are on that left-handed defenseman spot. Top.
So they gave Vejmelka what? Copley's bench goes down or what?
I don't know what you do. Because if Cal Peterson would be up with the Kings right now, if not for Jonathan Quick, and loyalty gets you in trouble sometimes.
Yeah.
Jonathan Quick is the greatest goaltender to ever play that position for the organization.
Correct.
Him playing right now is hurting this team. And it sucks to say. I don't know if you put him on waivers.
This is his last year on the contract, right?
Yeah. So your decision is made for you after this year.
This is as an outsider looking in.
Yeah.
You gotta let him finish the season.
Yeah, you do. And again,
you have to.
And is that the best for the team? Probably not.
No,
because you would love to see if Cal Peterson regained any of his confidence during his time in the AHL. You want to see that before you make a move, but you can't, because you can't send Phoenix Copley down. Phoenix Copley gets put on waivers. Someone's picking him up now. He's earned that right to be a starter or play hockey somewhere in the NHL. So, but also I don't know how you go confident. Like, and it's no disrespect to Phoenix Copley. He's been great. He's been wonderful. I love him. He's been great. But if the Kings are in first, second, or third in the Pacific, I don't know how you do that and not make any changes to improve the team. Where I think,
who was in net for the playoffs last year?
Jonathan Quick. And he played great. Against the Oilers. Couple bad games, just like Cal Peterson did, but he bounced back, kept them in it, and Game 7 was a 2-1 game.
I think no matter what, they got to stick loyal to Quick.
I would agree, but it is a tough conversation to have, and it's something that's going to be looming over them until the trade deadline gets passed.
I mean, the good thing is, depending on how you look at it, but like, Canes are relatively a young team, minus Doughty and Kopitar,
yeah,
and Quick, obviously. But you give Quick one more shot, and if nothing happens, it's a wasted year. It's not like you're like a team that's like on the closing window. It's like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, they're in a weird spot. It's time to, it's up to Rob Blake, the GM, to figure out exactly where this team is at. So who knows? A lot of answers are going to be, a lot of questions are going to be answered though, as the trade deadline approaches, Miguel.
It'll be interesting.
Do you have anything else, Miguel?
No, the rumor is Vegas is still looking to add some depth.
So look forward to our goodbye episode of Brendan Brisson.
There's this, yeah.
There's a good chance.
There's a good chance of it happening. There's a very good chance, because Vegas is a win now mode. It's gonna be tough without your captain, but
the West is open for the taking, though.
We will see what happens. And for those, thank you so much. You can find me at Miguel Kicks all over the net. Collector's Lobby on YouTube. It's been a while, but I'll be uploading again soon. Erick, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Twitter, Instagram at _Erick Oriana. That's _ErickOrellana. Oh, find me on TikTok at Erick Oriana.
You're getting a little popular on TikTok.
Your boy got 14K views on a dumbass TikTok. So, Miguel, I'm
only human. Soon. You know what I mean?
After all. But for now, Miguel, send us home.
Those listening and or watching, thank you so much. We appreciate each and every single one of you. We really do. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.
Goodbye.